Let me clear something up right away. If life feels harder than it should be, that's not your imagination. Everything right now is at its maximum setting. The rules didn't get clearer. The game didn't get fairer. They just added more buttons and told you to keep up. Especially when it comes to just making your way through the world. There was a time when being wise meant basic things. For example, there was a guy in town who listened more than he talked, didn't overreact, didn't borrow money he couldn't repay. Everyone called him wise. No podcast, no brand, no hot takes. Now, it takes more effort to be one reasonable adult than it used to take to create several legendary sages. And none of them had notifications. Here's a modern example. You're in a coffee shop. Two people are talking. One of them has watched 3 videos, skimmed 1 article, and is now explaining the economy, health, and human behavior with confidence. Not knowledge, confidence. The other person just wanted coffee. This is what we're dealing with now. Everyone has information. Very few people have understanding. Another example. A group of friends plans something simple. Dinner. Just dinner. One person asks a question. Another person misreads the tone. Someone else jumps in to clarify. Someone takes offense. Now there are paragraphs. The dinner is canceled. 2 people are taking space. 1 person is confused but scared to ask why. This used to be called Tuesday. Now it's emotional paperwork. It used to be easier to deal with groups of people than it is to deal with one person today. One person now shows up with opinions they didn't form themselves, emotional baggage they haven't unpacked, and a readiness to defend things you didn't attack. You're not talking to a person. You're talking to their past arguments, their online identity, and the last thing that made them angry. That's a lot to manage mid-conversation. Think about work. Someone gives feedback. It's normal. It's reasonable. Now it has to be worded carefully, rewritten twice, run through tone check, and delivered with a disclaimer. Not because it's cruel, but because everything is fragile. Before, you needed competence. Now you need diplomacy training. Wisdom today doesn't look impressive. It looks like not replying immediately, not correcting someone, not escalating, and letting a bad take die on its own. For example, someone says something wrong online. 10 people jump in. 2 hours later, everyone's mad. The wisest person? They closed the app and ate dinner. Unbothered, nourished, victorious. Ever watch someone lose it in a checkout line? Not because the wait is long, but because they've been carrying stress from work, money, news, and 20 tiny annoyances. The line wasn't the problem. It was the last straw. Modern life stacks straws like it's a hobby. So if you feel like you're always managing something, conversations feel heavier, simple things take more effort. That's not you falling behind. That's the cost of navigating a world where everyone is overstimulated and under-rested. Everything is at its peak. The noise, the pressure, the expectations. And if it takes more effort now just to stay calm, decent, and reasonable, that's not weakness. That's the new entry fee. So give yourself a break. You're not bad at life. Life just raised the difficulty and didn't warn anyone.